no matter how functioning you think you are, you're not. And other people can see you, but you don't see yourself. I came to the WARM program in May 10th of 2017 because I was using crack cocaine and my whole life was just terrible. I used to think of myself as a functioning addict because I could go to work and do this and do that, but in the end, it all comes so just messed up and like you just going through a tunnel of whirlwind, like a tornado, just going round and round and round and round and round. That's the way it is. And so no matter how functioning you think you are, you're not. I missed a lot of things with my kids, and sometimes even now it's still heartbreaking for me. Sometimes I still cry about it. Yeah, sometimes I just get really upset. Wow, wish I had been there. I just see now that I was not present at all when those kids were little. And that's the one time that you really need to be present, when your children are small, because those are formidable years. That's what they mean. I just didn't get that part. And people just be like, well, your drugs were just more important to you. You didn't care enough about it. And it's not even that you don't care. That's not where your mind is. You're somewhere else in your mind. Okay, if there's somebody else that can take care of them, okay, then they're good. And you just walk away. And I never, at least I don't want to believe that I didn't care. But I just, tell people all the time, I was a horrible mother. But my kids have done well in spite of their mother. My daughter, what actually brought me was I didn't have anywhere to go. My daughter had put me out of her house. And I was just so devastated and scared, and I felt like I was running for my life. And I came down here because a lady that I had as a what do you call her? Can't even think of what you call them, but anyway, she's the one that told me about a lady that used to be here, Miss Tamitha Penn, and she was the director of the women's program at that time. So the day that I came, and I sat and talked to her and talked to Mr. Bussey, but I was working for Tom Thumb, and so I was supposed to be at work that next day, and I was going to go work, and Mr. Bussey was like, no, if you leave, you're not going to come back. And I was like, oh, yeah, I will. He was like, no, you won't. So that particular day, they were having the senior Bible study. And so he put me with Deacon Gloria Johnson, and I hung out with the seniors all that day. And I never did leave. I just came and I just stayed and went to the program. Being in the program, Mr. Bussey's classes taught me a lot, the steps. I never was a meeting person. I never hardly went to meetings that much. And but just listening to him, he has a way of explaining things to you and listening to what you have to say, and then will comprehend and go on and explain to you, okay, well, this is how it is. And he'll ask you questions that'll make you go, yeah, let me think about that for a minute. And I feel now that I am so much more happier, even when I don't have money to pay something or do something that I want to do. It's not even important anymore. Just the peace of mind that I gained while I was in the program is the main thing that helps me out the most, even now. I don't stress about stuff. I don't really, worry like, oh, woe is me, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And I felt like I got what I needed to take my life forward. Cause I was just all over the place. And that's what happens as an addict. You be all over the place because it's all about getting your next high. Where am I gonna get money? Who can I tell some elaborate story or elaborate lie, which is basically what it turns out to be, to get what it is that I need. So the program itself, of course, when you come here and you gotta live with other people, you're like, oh my God, or, a house full of women, this is not gonna be good. And there's so many personalities and stuff like that. But what the program did for me was it taught me how to tolerate other people, because I have a very low tolerance for other people. And that was one of the things Mr. Bussey used to tell me when I would go to his office. You need to lower your expectations of people. And also I used to talk to Dr. Diane Robinson a lot, and she helped me tremendously. And Deacon Ruth Sellers, she helped me tremendously. But Sister Sellers is the one that helped me put my spirituality back on track. I believe in God. I always believed in God, but I wasn't practicing my belief. I kind of felt like I was practicing my faith in God, but not my belief. And never really called on my faith in God until I was in trouble. The drug dealer was after me or something, or I owed somebody money or something like that. And, of course, that's when you call on God, oh, help me. If you get me out of this trouble, I won't do it no more, and that sort of thing. I had a car that I had gotten repoed. I bought that car in August, and in February they repoed the car, brand new car. From August to February, I had put 17,000 miles on that car, just running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to go get high. So I was like, if I could do that for me, I could do that for God. Because he brought me out of that darkness, and I'm telling you, it's a very dark place when you're, in that addiction. You think you're doing so good, but you just don't realize how dark a hole you're in. And it's terrible. It is really, really terrible. So one of the things when I was here, and every time we would go somewhere, I would be so afraid that that drug dealer guy that said that I owed him money was going to see me. So sometimes we'd pass by in the vehicle that he drove. I would always scrunch down in the seat because I was so afraid. One day, there's a scripture that says that you should not be afraid of man. That's what finally helped me transform my fear of man and what could happen to me because of that, any man or whatever somebody else did. You can always tell when people are praying for you. And my mother was always praying for me. And another thing that I was so glad that I wasn't in my addiction when my mother died. So she got to see me, be in recovery. And then I got to apologize to my mother and ask her for her forgiveness for the, all the stress that I caused her too. So my recommendation to people that hear about the program is you got to come and see and talk to the staff and talk to Mr. Bussey and let somebody help you. Let somebody speak into your life that can give you some insight on how to function and carry your sobriety farther than you beyond what you thought was imaginable that you could get. I told Pastor Parker, he could not drag me from the Golden Gate kicking and screaming. I will not go. I don't care what's going down. This is where I'm supposed to be. I feel like this is where God brought me. He brought me here for a reason. So why would I leave? So no matter what's going on, and of course there's things that I get upset about and people that I get upset with, but that's not gonna drive me away from here. I belong here, and I'm never going from this place. That's what I told Pastor Parker. I don't care what nobody say. I'm right here. You're gonna always see me here.